Ongoing situation. Still, hundreds of Britons are stranded in Libya. The Foreign Office says most of the people who haven't been rescued are simply stuck in the desert. Prime Minister David Cameron has promised that the government will do everything it can to get them back to the UK. Well, John Sutton from Clayton Woods was in a similar situation 42 years ago. He was a member of the British Army of the Rhine, and in August 1969, he was sent across to Libya for training. But soon after, Colonel Gaddafi came into power, which meant John and his team were stranded in Libya for 4 months. He told our reporter, Nishma Hindocha, about his experience of being stuck in the middle of the Sahara Desert with no means of escape.
In 1969, I was a member of the British Army of the Rhine, and we were sent across to Libya on a series of exercises in August of 69. In early September of 69, somebody called Colonel Gaddafi decided that King Idris was no longer wanted, and he took over. But he didn't seem to get on too well with the British Army, so he ordered us out, except he grounded all the planes, so we were stuck in the middle of the Sahara Desert with no means to escape. And it was very hot.
What was the whole experience like? What was going through your mind at that time?
Well, the first we knew about it, our Sergeant Major walked in out of the desert, having had his transport taken from him by the Libyan army. And he said, we'd better stand by for some trouble. They've just taken my Land Rover off me and ordered me back into camp. He said, we've got to evacuate. So we evacuated the camp. We were in the middle of the desert, probably 30 miles in to the Sahara. We moved back into RAF El Adam, which was our main base. And from RAF El Adam, we were trying to evacuate the married families because it was an RAF station.
How many people were you with?
The total army contingent was about 600. We were split into 2 groups, 300 at a time in the middle of the desert and switching round with RAF El Adam. So when we moved back into RAF El Adam, there were 600 soldiers approximately, plus the contingent from the RAF.
And you were all stuck there at the same time?
And we were all stuck there at the same time, so there was no accommodation for us, so they had to dig latrines, and we were living in tents. We were stuck in the middle of the desert living in these tents when the Sirocco wind came in and it whipped up a sandstorm. The sandstorm came in, you could see it inching across the desert towards you, and you thought, the hell's this coming? And when it arrived, it picked up our tents and threw them about 1.5 miles into the desert, along with all my washing, which I'd just done. Thank you, Colonel Gaddafi.
What did you do then? I mean, how did you hatch a plan to get out of there?
Believe me, I didn't hatch a plan to get out of there. I was stuck there with dysentery. All I was interested in was finding the nearest toilet. But everybody else was ill as well. We were all struck down with this dysentery, which was obvious because there was no means to keep clean. You know, the water was running out. They managed to get the families out.
How did they do that?
Well, they allowed certain planes to go, and he did allow the married families to fly out. But all the rest was restricted to something like 1 flight a week.
And how long did it take you to get out of the country?
I didn't get out till the middle of December.
So that was
like 4 months.
4 months?
4 months in RAF El Adam in the middle of the desert.
What was going through your mind? I mean, what was going through the mind of your family back at home?
I'm sure that everybody was very concerned, you know, because there were reports that this man was on the loose and he was an unknown quantity. And to us he was a threat because every night we could see him on a daily basis patrolling with his armed forces, not him personally, but the armed forces of the Libyan army that looked to us to be out of control because, as I said, they looked like a gang of goons dressed up in World War I mixed army surplus uniforms with their hats on the back of their head and gaiters on upside down and big baggy trousers. They were funny. They should have been... Spike Milligan couldn't have written a better script.
They didn't faze you at all?
Well, they didn't faze me, no, because I didn't believe that they were capable of constructing a proper attack.
What a story, you see. Nothing new under the sun. Is there certainly under the sun in the Sahara? That's John Sutton from Clayton Woods speaking with our reporter Nishma Hindocha about it being stuck in Libya back in August 1969, and we'll hear more of his story in the next 20 minutes this Friday tea time.